Good morning. Day 30. I've wanted to say day 30 for a really long time. Not that I wanted 30 days in lockdown. Well, we're not in lockdown here, level 2. But I have a friend who's flown from level 2 all the way over top of the level 4 and is back in level 2 in Wellington. And I am somewhat jealous because those plane flights are really hard to get. And yeah, she's complaining about it being cold. It's lovely up here. Anyhow, good luck to that lady in Wellington. So these are my progressing angel wings. And they're getting rather large now and looking rather cool. So I'm got a natural wool, washed, carded, spun. I know the place that it came off. I even know the sheet that it was on. So this has become a very special set of angel wings. So size 9 and going great. So today I want to show you something different. Today I want to talk about unpulling stuff. See, this is a little baby jacket I found in a second-hand shop. Now normally I wouldn't unpull baby stuff, but there's a hole in their arm and there are a number of things not quite right with the jacket. The reason I'm going to unpull this is because someone made this with love for a little baby that is possibly, the story I have is a grandma made it for their grandchild, and for whatever reason it looks brand new, but it's found itself in a second-hand shop, so it had a lot of love put into it already, and I want to turn that love into a hug for someone. So it's got a cute little flower on it, and I'm going to keep that. I'm going to use that as a center. Right, and I can all do this with a beautiful coffee made by my wonderful husband. Go that man. So, unpulling things, that can be a little bit of a trick. And everything that you unpull is a bit different. So I use to start off with a baby crochet hook. Like, I'm looking for my size 4 or smaller. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get this little crochet hook and I am going to find me where the stitching for the seams started. So this is the side seam, and I'm just going to start tugging my way at different threads, looking for that little magic thread that someone wove in to the work. So the end, I'm looking for the end, and when I find the end, I can literally start unpulling. And I found that people often, well, they stitch up their garments in the same yarn as they knitted or crocheted them in. This one's knitted, and so I keep that as part of the wool that I will use to make, well, I'll keep this for this hug. Anyway, that's the quickest way to undo a seam. Now, if you happen to be the person who made this lovely little jacket, all is not lost, because it's going to find a new home and it's going to have as much love as you intended it for. And yeah, so please don't be mad at me. I understand the effort that you put in, because I find making baby clothes is quite special. Anyway, I usually don't unpull baby clothes, because in the end there's not enough raw materials to make what I want to make with it. But with the same little jacket, I found a little hat which also has holes in it for some reason, so I'm going to salvage the wool in there. And I found another little top which I will add into the hug to make for this. I might even turn it into angel wings, but we'll use that flower as center. So yes, so getting your garments separated means that you're then able to unpull and gather the wool in the garment. Someone did these seams really lovely. So yeah. Okay, so we're coming up to the bands at the top. Oh yeah, the dog's home today. She's got the deck to herself, and she's got the sea that she can see, and she can see the people walking up and down the street. And you can tell that we're not on level 4 because the street's basically empty now and not filled with people walking their dogs and kids. Anyway, first bit of yarn unpicked. Now they've the band has been knitted on after, so we'll pull that undone separately, and I'm just going to go to the other corner and look for my end, and there it is. There it is. So I joined a group yesterday on Facebook, and there's some beautiful work in there, and there was a thread that there was a few comments talking about how people absolutely loathed granny squares, and how they didn't crochet because they hated them so much, and but then they found these patterns, and the patterns are beautiful, intricate patterns that they decided to crochet, which is lovely. And what I'll say is a granny square, which is like the hugs I'm making, only in my head. They're used for teaching. They're used for teaching children how to do the stitches. They're used for, they're used for teaching anybody. It's more than that. It's how how this ancient art has been passed down generations, and how we're in 2021, and it's been something that has been done for many hundreds of years, and possibly 1,000 years of handwork like this. And a granny square is the simplest way to pass on how to do all the stitches you need to be competent and confident enough to create whatever you want. So a granny square is a template. It's not the be all and end all. It's the beginning. So if you ever had a parent try to teach you how to do a granny square, that in itself can be a harrowing experience. And maybe it's that particular experience that you didn't really like. But yeah, it's something to consider, that it's how it's passed on generation to generation, so that somewhere in that generation maybe you can do all the fancy things. Now I've come to an armpit, and they've tied it and they've done all kinds of exciting things in here. And often you find, see that, when you go to cross under an arm, that you thread through the yarn, and so it makes it much more difficult to undo. However, when you get to one of those cross things, you usually have another end waiting for you. So give it a little tug and see what pops out. And yeah, they've done all kinds of ends in here. Anyway, ancient arts and ancient crafts have to be taught and handed on, and granny squares are the basic teaching tool. And they create a beautiful blanket you can put on your bed. I guess I've moved my work a little bit. I've made it for a hugging purpose, and to me it just infuses all that love that you do in creating your hug into a way that you can pass it on to somebody and they get relief from it, and something that is theirs and not anyone else's. So yeah, and there you go, that's my comment for the day. And I'm happy to teach anybody how to do granny squares so that they can progress on to fabulous and wonderful patterns. Yeah, happy days. Have a good one. Bye for now.